That's why I tell people all the time, if you live in Charlotte and you are bored with this city, that's your own fault. I get asked all the time, why is Charlotte an amazing city? Why is Charlotte such a popular city? Why are there over 100 people moving to Charlotte every day? And I'm here today to tell you my top 3 reasons why this is an amazing city to live in. We're gonna break this into 3 different sections today. First is location. Second is going to be how this is a big city with a small town feel. And the third is that there's always something to do here. So kicking off with topic number 1 is location. So obviously Charlotte is located in North Carolina, which to those of you who may not know is in the southeast in the US. And because we're located in the southeast, we do have the benefit of seeing all 4 seasons, but in a much less extreme way. It means that our summers, sure, they're hot, but go anywhere in the country and it's gonna be unbearably hot. So by comparison, it's really no different, not that bad here. One of the best parts about the location and the weather here is our fall is very extended and our winter is very bearable. You wanna know how great it is in the winter here? People lose their minds when it's in the 30s. And maybe 1 week out of the year, we'll see it dip below the 30s. As appealing as a white Christmas may be, so is being able to walk outside on Christmas Day or to Christmas dinner without even having to wear a jacket. Now, back to location. We are situated right in the middle of North Carolina, right next to the mountains. So if you like going up to the mountains, we're 2 hours from Boone, Blowing Rock, and a small town called Asheville that you might have heard of. We're also about 3 hours from a lot of the beaches. You can go to Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina. You can go to Charleston, which was TripAdvisor's #1 destination. You can go to Myrtle Beach, you can go to Hilton Head. The list goes on and on. If you want to go up to the mountains, you're 2 hours, and if you want to go to the beach, you're 3 or 4 hours from everything. And let's say the beaches and the mountains aren't for you, but you love being on the lake. Lake Norman and Lake Wylie are in our backyard in Charlotte. So if you're a lake person, not only is this a great state to be in, but back to the weather piece, you also can use the lake pretty much all year round. Oh, and as a Hokies fan at Virginia Tech grad, having Blacksburg 2.5 hours away doesn't suck. Topic number 2, big city with a small town feel. Charlotte truly is a large city. We have the 10th busiest airport in the country. It's an American Airlines hub, which means you get direct flights all over the world. But rarely does it ever take more than 5 minutes to get through security and get to your gate, which makes it feel like that small town airport. Now, when it comes to sports, we have a lot of professional sports teams, just like a lot of other big cities do. We have the Panthers, we have the Hornets, we have Charlotte FC, the Major League Soccer team. We have the minor league baseball team, the Charlotte Knights. And I'll tell you what, as big as these teams are and as good or bad as some of them are, you're guaranteed to run into people that you know when you go to their games. And one of the best parts, their ticket prices are way less than the teams that they're playing against who are coming from other cities. Oh, and how could I forget? We're like the NASCAR capital of the country. So if you like racing, this is a great place for you too. There's also a lot of corporations that are headquartered here, and it should come as no surprise that there's a lot of banks and banking opportunities here in Charlotte as well. There's also a lot of recognizable name brand restaurants that are coming to Charlotte because we're on the map. But I can guarantee if you go to that mom and pop restaurant that your parents went to in the 80s, if you're from Charlotte, or that you've heard about because it's a Charlotte staple and it's been here forever, that restaurant is gonna be just as packed on a Friday night as any of these new name brand places. And the last point on the big city with a small town feel is that we have over 100 people moving here every single day. We're closing in on 1 million residents in Charlotte. But I can promise that if you walk around Uptown during the business day, or if you're walking around South End on the rail trail, you're probably gonna run into someone that you know. And that is truly what makes this big city feel like a small town. And the last reason why Charlotte is an amazing place to live is there's always something to do here. Whether you're into being outdoors, whether you're into sports, maybe you're into the food and drink scene, or maybe you're into the music and arts scene. There's always something going on here. So if you're into the outdoors, we have over 42 golf courses just in Charlotte. If you're into water sports, we have Lake Norman, Lake Wiley, we have the Whitewater Center, which is the U.S. Olympic Training Center. There's so much that you can do on the water here as well. Let's say you're into the food and drink scene. There are new restaurants and breweries and cocktail lounges opening every single day here. We're bringing in award-winning chefs. We're bringing in mixologists for cocktail lounges that can do stuff that would blow your mind. So there's always a cool new place to check out if you're into that. Let's say you're into sports. We've already talked about all the pro sports teams that are here, but what about college? Obviously, we have UNC Charlotte right up the street, and we host tons of collegiate athletic events as well. We have lots of college football games here. We have kickoff games. We have the ACC championship. When it comes to basketball, we're hosting all kinds of tournaments, including some NCAA tournaments. So there's always something to do, and if your alma mater comes here, you're missing out if you don't come see them play. And lastly, let's say you're into the music and arts scene. Every major artist tours through Charlotte. Travis Scott just performed last night. Drake just wrote a song about when he was here. Beyonce was here. The Rolling Stones came here. The list goes on. And depending what kind of concert you're going to, you'll be able to see your favorite artists anywhere from a stadium all the way down to the most intimate concert venue. And on the flip side of the music scene, when it comes to the art world here, there are actually a lot of neighborhoods that are specifically known for their art culture. And so if that's something that's important to you, go live there, go live near there. That way you can ingrain yourself in that community and you will love living here. That's why I tell people all the time, if you live in Charlotte and you are bored with this city, that's your own fault. But before you move to Charlotte, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you next week.